For National Quilting Day, we're going over our top 10 favorite moments from this last year. Hello, my name is Jenna.
I'm Angelique.
And there has been so much that has happened this last year.
Oh, so much.
Like crazy. We're gonna review our top 10 favorites, and there's no order. We're just throwing them out there because it's so hard to rank them.
Definitely, there's just a lot of great projects.
Right? We're not ranking them today. I think you guys should rank them down in the comments and let us know what's your favorite so that we kind of know what you want to see this upcoming year.
Yeah, I'd love to know what your favorites are.
Our first favorite moment is an applique dog portrait quilt.
So cute.
This one was one of my favorites. So I made it for Fall Festival. I was inspired by my friend's dog. My friend's dog was diagnosed with cancer for the second time. I was like, how can I honor my friend's baby? Because my friend can't have kids, and so she, like, her dogs are her kids. And
the furry babies.
Yes. And unfortunately, like literally last week, they had to put her down, which is so sad. But I went over to my friend's house and I saw her cuddled up in that quilt right after it happened. And I just started crying. I was like, oh. And so seeing her with the quilt, and I have a picture of Lily, who is the dog, with the quilt so that we can put it up and you guys can see it. But that one, I think, is my favorite because of how much it meant to me.
Yeah, and it was just, I think you just did such a great job of teaching people how they can take a photo and turn something into it.
Thanks.
Yeah,
It's
I thought that it was just wonderful. One of the first ones I want to talk about is, you know, we have Quilter's Playground with Carla.
Yes.
I was revisiting that and I came across her one on Borders and Beyond, and she just does such a fabulous job in general teaching.
Yeah.
But she just really made me think about things that sometimes I don't think about, like making sure your borders like fit sizing wise with your project, and you know how you sew them on is how they're going to quilt out well. And sometimes all I'm thinking about is how much fabric do I have that I can make this work. And it's really a good watch to figure out not only how to quilt it, but how to sew it so it comes out great.
I feel like Carla is a great teacher.
Oh yeah.
She does in-person classes here at Grace, and I've sat in on a couple of them, and there's so many little tips and tricks that I've learned, and watching them on Quilter's Playground, there's so many other little tips and tricks that I love.
And she gives you homework, which I know you're like, why would I want homework? But it really does help you work
school
through.
for a reason.
Well, I am a lifelong learner, so of
Yes,
course I want homework.
You're right. Our third favorite moment is when one of our ambassadors, Kristen, went and used the mini quilter in the middle of the woods.
Oh, that was so funny.
I loved it. So this was for summer camp. Kristen did a fun project on the mini quilter, and it was like a little mushroom block. She was like, what if I took it outside? Can I do that? I said, yeah, that would be so fun. And then seeing it come to life where she was literally quilting in the middle of the woods made me laugh.
I just really liked how she used like some blocks that she found and repurposed them. So she saved these blocks from, you know, like utter destruction, but put a modern twist on it. And I thought that was just a really good way to remember and save somebody's work.
I think we got some amazing ambassadors.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My next one is, so I did a lot of challenges last year, and one of them was the color challenge. And that really like made me have to think and stretch and learn like some more techniques. But the one that I really just loved how it came out and having like the extra twist was the Hummingbird hoop one that I had to do with the placemat and the flowers, and it was kind of like playing with embroidery and coloring, and I had no idea how this project was going to come out, and it came out like three-dimensional, and I just thought it was so much fun and really taught me a lot. Plus I got to really try out our new Hummingbird hoop.
I feel like that project, it was so creative and fun, and the way you did the petals, I've never seen that before, and now like after rewatching it again, it's on my bucket list to do something like that. I don't know what I'm gonna make yet, but I have it. I'm gonna think about that.
Definitely.
Our next favorite moment isn't necessarily a moment, but a series. The Jenna Tries series has been so much fun this last year, and I guess there's little moments from each of them, but overall, I love it because it's challenged me to do things I have never done before. Where in my head, I think, I want to do it, but I just don't have the time at home to do it, but this would make a really cool Jenna Tries video. And specifically, like the trapunto quilting one, I had never heard of that before, and then after doing the technique, now I want to do it in so many different quilts. And I have 2 quilts that I still need to quilt that I want to do that technique too.
Well, I have seen that technique before and I've been really intimidated by it, you know, kind of thinking about, okay, you've got to kind of stop and you've got to add the layers and then you stitch and you trim from what I had seen on it. And I've always wanted to try it. But like I said, I've just been really intimidated. But I really liked your use of QCT6.
Oh, thanks.
To do the work for you. So all you had to kind of focus on was, okay, I'm going to put the layer here, I'm going to have it stitch out, and then I can like flatten this area out. And I just thought that was a really creative way to try it without the pressure of, I want to make sure this looks so good with my free motion skills.
With true quilting, when I was researching it, I was also intimidated because of the different ways everybody does it. So I tried to, like, what is an easy, lazy way to get it done? And so that is where the QCT came in. And there were a lot of things that I learned in the process. And now when going into my new quilts that I want to do with it, I think I can figure it out better.
Okay, cool. My next one is also from summer camp, and it's from one of our ambassadors, Kina.
Kina is so talented. Oh my goodness, I love her.
Kina made this beautiful bird of paradise.
Yes.
Like applique, like layered thing. And, you know, I was at work that day, but I'm watching it while I'm working, and I literally stopped what I was doing and just like stared the whole time watching it. And it really makes me want to get a light box because that's not how I do my applique. I just cut the things out and I'm like, oh, tracing would be so awesome. But it was just her fabric colors, her technique. It was stunning.
Yes.
It was just hard not to watch.
It really is. Kina is one of the most talented quilters and artists I know. I got to meet her in person last year.
Yeah, we met last year. It was so nice to meet her.
No, I got to meet her at QuiltCon.
Oh.
And I got to see some of her art and her quilts in person. Yeah. And in person, they're even more incredible. Like, you see them online and you're inspired and awed, and then you see them in person and you're like, oh my goodness. That one also was one of my favorites.
Yeah, we got to meet her. She came to visit. Yeah. Maybe it was 2024, and it was just a pleasure to get to meet her in person. But
she's just awesome. Our next moment is from Quilter's Playground, and it's how would you quilt diamonds, triangles, shapes, odd shapes of some sort. For me, the hardest part about free motion quilting is coming up with the quilting ideas. I did a quilt last year that had a bunch of circles on it, and I truly had no clue what to do, and I did some research, and there wasn't a whole lot of like circle ideas for free motion quilting online. And so this video helped so much with just seeing how she would fill a circle, how she would fill a triangle, how she would fill diamonds. And it really inspired me to doodle more.
Nice.
So that when I do need to quilt a triangle, I have a backlog of just ideas where instead of watching TV and just scrolling, I can just sit and draw out free motion quilting ideas so that when I need them later, I have them.
I liked in that video how she broke down the shapes into different shapes to make it easier to figure out how to fill it and balance it. That was my favorite part because I never thought about that. It's like she had like something that was kind of like hexagon-y.
Yeah.
And then she kind of broke that into triangles. So if you were using like QCT triangle patterns, you could get those to fit and get them to balance it. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, it combines a little bit of free motion and QCT depending on what you're doing, or if you don't have automation, here's a cool pattern that we do have on QCT that you probably could do free motion. So that was really cool.
That's cool. My next one is, it's a project that I did for, I think it was Spring Fling last year, 2025, and it was the Selvage wall hanging.
That one I loved. Oh my goodness.
I had been saving selvages for probably like 2 years, and I borrowed some from you guys as I was making the project, because you were like, do you want a selvage? I'm like, yes, and people were bringing me stuff. But I had seen different things that people were doing with selvages, and so that's when I kind of inspired me to start saving them. But I was like, one, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, and two, I am not going to sit here and sew inch by inch by inch. And so I really liked my way of being lazy.
I feel like that's most quilters though. Most quilters want to do something really cool and try to find the easiest, most laziest way to get it done.
So kind of adhering it, to the interfacing and basically turning it into fabric and cutting from that. And it created a really neat texture when I washed it.
I haven't seen it washed.
So it's like you get the little bit of fuzzies from the edges of, all the things that were cut, but everything's like there and nice and firm. And I just loved how the diamonds popped out. I think that's what really brought it it to life. And I loved it so much and had so much left over, I made that apron, which you guys probably see me wearing all the time on camera.
But that one, I love the way you quilted it. That was my favorite, seeing like the really tiny cross hatching. I was so impressed that you took the time to do that.
I really wanted to make sure it's stayed together.
But it looks so good. I love the look of tiny cross hatching lines, and it was just fun. Our next favorite moment comes from the free motion quilting challenge that we did.
Yes.
That one I loved. I want to do that one again. You guys need to go watch it because it was so cool seeing the way that you took a sheet of fabric and just free motion quilted it, and how we had like different constraints that we had to follow, but we came up with 2 different designs, and seeing what you did inspired me in like one of my other quilts to quilt it, especially with like your little feathers. Those were the fun whimsical feathers that were so fun, and so lately I've been into fun whimsical feathers because of that.
Oh, that's sweet. I thought it was just a lot of fun to do. It was intimidating and a little scary. Here's this blank sheet, but it was something I've always wanted to try, kind of like, you know, the Trampunto, like you kind of, a lot of those that you see are just, here's a blank slate that you're working on. I just thought it was so interesting how it showcased how 2 people just view something differently, and it still comes out beautiful.
Yes.
So like no matter what you do, it's gonna look great because it's coming from you, it's your art.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was just fun.
I think we should do that again this year.
Yeah, we should find something we can do.
Yeah, something we can do like that, because that was a good time. Okay, last one.
All right, so this was tough for me because, you know, I did a lot of our holiday inspired projects last year because one, I really like to decorate my house with like holiday stuff.
Y'all should see Angelique's desk. She decorates it for different holidays, and she'll come in wearing outfits for different holidays, and it's just so cute.
And I like to dress up, as you know, in these holiday ones because I'm always doing something crazy. So I was really torn between 2 of those. One was Frankie, our Halloween fiend.
Yes.
That was 2 years in the making. I actually made the original one.
I remember that.
And then realized that I was focused on the wrong month for the projects that we were supposed to be doing, like because we were asked to use certain products, and I was using the wrong products for the month. So I was like, bye, we'll have to visit you another time. So it was fun to get to be able to do him. The other one was the Christmas themed one, the Gingerbread house.
Oh yes, that's a cute one too.
And that one was just a different challenge. It was somebody else's idea. First you got tasked with it. You're like, I think this is better for Anj to do. So I took it on.
Done it.
And that, I think, kind of between the 2, I'm leaning more towards the Gingerbread house. I think it came out really cute. And I got stopped as I'm walking back and forth from the studio carrying it by people in sales going, is that a real gingerbread house? So I felt like I really nailed that one.
That one was so fun. Back to Frankie, because I think out of those 2, Frankie's my favorite just because he's so freaking cute. And also with the way you taught how to make Frankie, you used the True Cut rulers in different ways that I wouldn't have thought of. I think that was really inspiring, which is like, oh, let's use my rulers in different ways, especially like the circle cutter and the triangle rulers, and like, I don't know, he's just so cute.
He did come out really cute. Like I said, it's really a toss-up.
Yes.
It was hard to decide. Well, that was our top 10 from last year for this National Quilting Day. We'd love to know what your top 10 are, or at least your favorite one. So let us know in the comments of this video. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our 2 YouTube channels.
Yes, we just launched our new support channel, which I am so excited about, which makes it easier for people to find product help and support.
Until next time.
We'll see you later.
And keep watching so you can see what we do this year.